Hey guys, looky what I got today. Another 51. This one came with a case, side cover, bar and chain. It was a complete saw. Got fairly good compression. Been sitting in a shed, dry actually, and that's why. That's why she's still a runner. She stored it dry. Chain brake works. This adjuster, the nylon thing fell out of, so I'm gonna have to be careful tomorrow running it. So I'm gonna clean this up. I'm gonna run this sucker, but gotta dress this bar up. It's shot, but I'm gonna dress it and just run the saw long enough to figure out what she's got. But yeah, there's a big rails. I mean, this chain's gonna flop around in there and probably not cut very straight, but like I said, I just want to run it, see if it even compares to my other 51 that happens to run very, very well, but it has a recoil problem. That's why I went and bought this, for the recoil, because it was actually a good recoil. Got a pretty good deal on it. Not too bad anyways. But like I said, the bar's shot. The chain's got one tooth broken out of it, and it's pretty well worn down. See if you guys can see that. Yeah, I think it's an 18. Just a plain old laminate bar, which ain't a bad thing for something like this. You don't really need a lightweight 325 chain. But like I said, I'm gonna dress this up a little bit and fill her up with fuel, let it idle a little bit tonight, burn the cobwebs out of it, so to speak, and see how she runs. Clean all this crap out of the side covers, clutch housing. Get her dressed up as best I can with flat fall. And if it earns me a little bit of money, I'll be nice to it. I'll put a nice bar on it. But gotta go take down a big tree tomorrow. So this will be a nice little brush saw. Sorry guys, I dropped it. Figure. So it needs a little more in here. Got this all just about dressed up. But yeah, like I said, if it don't run all that good, I'll probably take the recoil off, put it on my other one, and then rebuild the recoil that's on my other one. Because they're both good shape recoils. Mine still got the decal and everything on it, so I want to be able to run that other one. It's real finicky. It'll start sometimes, but usually it'll start once, and it won't restart. So you gotta run it out of gas, and you're done if you don't shut it off. But yeah, I'm gonna get this bar dressed up, and then I got a big ash tree to go take tomorrow. I'm taking the 9.4 with me, so I can get all the way through that sucker. This side I already did, except for back here, so I'm just going to touch it up a little bit. And then get this last side here file. I don't know if you guys can see this, but smooth. It's caught right there. There's a big ridge. Just because this bar is shot, but you gotta make the saw pay for itself before it gets any more money put into it. And just because it'll start and it'll idle and it'll cut a branch off a tree like I did in my backyard, doesn't mean it's actually gonna run. So in wood, and 8, 10, 18-inch wood, you know. So give her just a quick and dirty clean up. like I said, I'm just trying to get this thing to cut where I can use it, make it pay the money I had to pay for it, which is kind of the topic of this video. Is new saws nowadays, like a 550 XP Husky or something like that, they'll run you $600-800, where even like a 450 or a 455, 460, they're 300 up to 500, you know, and some change. Tax, you're looking at about $600, so for a 460 anyway. And this saw, like I said, there was an old guy that had it, and he does a lot of swapping and trading and things. You can kind of tell when he got there, you know. One of them deals where he had a forklift, rough terrain forklift, and a skid loader all there. That's when you know the guy does quite a little bit of trading, buying and selling things. But yeah, it was just one of them deals where you could tell that the saw had been stored dry, and he said he'd ran it, but he can't run a saw anymore. So I paid $80 for this, and I just sharpened the chain a little bit ago before I took the bar and side cover off. And if this saw run and cut wood, I saw one truckload of firewood and I made my money back. And I've got at least 2 truckloads of firewood that are going out this next couple weeks. One right across town here to a friend of my fiance's. They're on the fire department together. And if I decide I don't like it, I can take the side cover off, or the recoil cover off. I can put it on my other saw that I know needs the recoil rebuilt, or just put this recoil on it for now, run it for a season, and then when I decide I need to get another 51 Husqvarna going, I know I've got one. But like I said, this tensioner is just about hooped. Common Husky thing. Make sure I put this on the right way. Okay, this is a bar hole I just cleaned out. I need to finish cleaning out. So run my screwdriver down these bar rails. That's when you know your bar is shot, when you can fit a scrunch down in there, or a chainsaw wrench, whatever you want to call it, and get it all the way in there. Now them bar rails are pretty clean. This is the hole I just cleaned out. Like I said, I have no idea how long this will run before it kicks that tensioner out. But if it makes it through a truckload of firewood, it's worth it to me to put a little money into the saw, because the tensioners aren't really that expensive. Even if I lose it and it kicks the whole thing out, you know, they're like 12 bucks. So then I'm looking at basically $90 in this, or like $100 bucks. $100 saw, and I get 50 cc's. So I mean, this is a runner now. It seems to run all right. It pulls chain and it oils. And these aren't necessarily the strongest saw in the world as far as pulling chain, but they'll pull a 20-inch bar all right. I've got one on my other 51. My other 51 is got a little bit of a muffler leak, so I just consider it a muffler mod, because it pulls chain a little better than what it would stock with a new muffler. The mufflers aren't that expensive, but it's one of them deals where I don't have to, so I don't wanna. It pulls chain, it oils, it idles. But yeah, I mean, if I can make it through a truckload of firewood with this saw, it's paid for itself. See if it'll restart. Alright, well, anyway, like I said, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. Is if you're willing to go out and look long enough, you can find saws for under $300 that are fairly good saws. This saw here, this ProMac 55, you guys have seen it cut on one of my other videos. That saw is a monster for 54 cc's. This 394, I've got my 36 on it right now, but when I got that saw, I traded a guy 2 Polaris 4-wheelers for it that were basically junk 4-wheelers. I had less than $100 in each one of them. I had to put a new top end on it, so I had a local shop put a OEM 395 piston and cylinder, intake boot, carburetor, and all that jazz, a new air filter, and did a good pressure test on the bottom end, and it passed. So that saw will probably outlast me. Certainly does in the wood. But yeah, I've got maybe $400 in this, and if I was to go buy a new 395, shit, $1,100. This, now I've got 80 bucks in. I sharpened and dressed the chain, which took me 10 minutes. And I've got a pretty good runner here, so we're going to try her in the wood tomorrow. I'm going to try and get a video down there for you guys. We'll see how it goes. I got to bring my dad down so I can have him help me, because I don't think that bar is going to be long enough. And I'm going to bring his 680 along. This is my dad's saw. He doesn't run it much, so I'm going to bring it with me and slash some bigger firewood up with it. And then I'm probably going to run that 55 tomorrow. But my main saw I'm going to be slashing brush with is this sucker. I might bring my other 51 too, depending on whether it'll start tonight. But if it'll start, I'll bring it along. But yeah, like I said, shot bar. I mean, you can see these rails they're garbage, but they'll make it a truckload of firewood or two, and then put a bar on it. Probably just put a cheap aftermarket bar on it, because putting a husky bar on this is really, I mean, you can get aftermarket bars for the same price or less money sometimes, and they're just as good, if not better bar than an OEM bar. So anyways, that's pretty much it for tonight. I'm gonna load this thing up with some fuel and a little bit more bar oil, and let it sit here and idle for a little bit. So we'll talk to you guys hopefully tomorrow. See you later.